Alright guys, let's see if we can get this thing going. First thing I'm going to do, I spent a couple hours reading the manual last night and kind of studying it, so we'll see how it goes. I did also try hooking it up last night, and don't hook it up in the house, it doesn't pick up and read right. So anyway, go ahead and put the landing gear in. You got to get these pretty well lined up, and then you pull them over to the side to lock them in. Put a little bit of pressure on them, push these rubber grommets over, and now you can pick it up and shake it and they stay in. We're going to go ahead and turn it on and see if everything is working. So let's go ahead first before we put the props on and make sure everything is gonna work, and then we'll take it up into the yard and try it. So I got everything down. It explains in the manual what each of these does. With this down, it's in home mode, and this is the GPS mode. So go ahead and turn the receiver on. Set it off here to the side. Take these screws out. Case in here for a second, and plug it in. You'll see this is a nice little rubber seal as far as keeping it waterproof. If you haven't seen inside it, that's kind of what you got inside. And plug the batteries together and let it sit while it does its self-check. Blinking red and green, so it's trying to pick up the satellites right now. So now it's blinking full green, and you can see that under here. This LED is flashing. You can see through the drone. It's mounted on the inside, but it shows through. So let's just see what it does, and then we'll have to do the compass calibration since we just got it. Try to figure out that part. Now to get the motors to start, this part kind of messed me up a little bit, but you'll see in the manual you kind of got a safety factor of pushing these to the side and then pushing them up. Or no. If you push them to the side and then up. So we're getting, appears they're all working. Put it down and it turns off. So looks like all that's working. Okay, first thing you want to do when you get it and go to different locations is do the calibration. So basically you can see the light underneath. It's flashing, should be flashing green. Yep, you can see it flashing green. It's hard to see out here in the daylight, but flashing green meaning it's got the GPS signal. But what we want to do is do the compass calibration. So we're going to flip this top switch back and forth 6 to 10 times is what it says, and leave it on manual. You can see the light's turned a solid red, which means it's ready to calibrate. So we're going to spin it this way until the light turns green. Light turned green, and then it says nose down, and spin it this way until the light goes off. Light went off, so that should mean it's calibrated. You should do that every time you change where you're flying. That's what the book says. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on props. Carbon fiber ones are not labeled. I think the plastic ones are probably labeled as to which is which. We're gonna hope I can figure this out on which goes which. There's two different size grommets. One's thicker than the other. can see there's a flat side and a rounded side which looks like it has a groove in it. So we're going to assume the groove is the bottom. And we'll try the bigger grommets first. See what they do. So this is rotating clockwise. This is the top. So I'm going to say that's the wrong prop, in that this looks like if it's turning that way that it would create lift on that side. So let's go with that and set it on there. And it appears that the big grommets don't work on this one, but we need to go with the small ones. So let's try the thin ones. Try that, put that on. That does better. Go ahead and tighten it. Uh-oh, don't drop it in the water. This is counter rotation, so this one goes the opposite direction. And we're gonna, there's a wrench in this. It's wrenchier than a cable, so we'll get this wrench out. We're doing the props. And give it a little tighten, and then this is a counter rotation. We'll double check these big ones again and make sure they don't fit. They're way too tight to go on. So we're going to put this one on. This is a counter rotating, so this will create lift that way. We're going to double check this just to make sure I'm right, since I just kind of going off of common sense, which I might not have any. Snug them up. These are opposite. There's a nice manual online as far as kind of a cheat sheet on what you have to do. Okay, double check. I think I got the props on right. Go ahead and put the other two on. Alright, first flight, made sure it was in GPS mode and it's in return to home. And then kind of a nice safety feature is you can't just come hit the throttle and make it come on. You basically got to push them down to the left and to get the engine started. So not really going to fly it here since I don't really know much what I'm doing, but let's see if we can get it to take off and come back down just a little bit and see what happens. Engine go. So that's taking it off. No, nothing on, I'm not doing anything right now, it's just hovering. That's forward, backwards, left, right, Pretty easy to fly, I can tell already, compared to the helicopters. It'll just land it right there. Then it cuts off, and if you wait, you can't just hit throttles. It cuts itself off after 3 seconds, so you can't accidentally start it. And then you have to go back and hit the throttles to the side again to get them to start back. Chopping up a few leaves. This is spinning it. Said I wasn't going to fly it, but might have to do a little bit. See if I can bring it back. Pretty easy to fly. Go up. Hover. Hands off the throttle. Gotta give it a little more juice. If you put the throttle back in the middle, it hovers. That's probably because I don't have the trim up. Adjust the trim a little bit. Throttle in the middle, it hovers. Drop it down. Throttle in the middle. Land. Get back up. All right. Pretty easy.